parent plant, they are genetically identical and called soma clones. Micropropagation is extensively used in horticulture and floriculture and is employed in the large-scale production of tomato, banana, apple, etc. This technique can also be used to propagate high-yielding disease-resistant varieties in a short span. Even in conditions when a plant is diseased, tissue culture is used for recovering healthy plants from diseased plants by taking the explant of the apical or axillary meristem. This is done because the meristem is always free from pathogens due to lack of vascular supply. The process of using the meristem for propagation is known as meristem culture. Culturing of meristems has been successfully carried out in plants such as banana, sugarcane, and potato. There are many advantages of tissue culture, which are as follows. A large number of plants can be grown in a short period of time. Healthy plants can be grown from diseased plants. Plants without seeds can be multiplied. It is useful where sexual reproduction is not possible.
Hope that you understood the video. Okay, so in that video, suppose if you have any kind of doubts, you can ask. Was that video useful to you all? Okay, Tushar, if you are having any question, you can ask. Okay, fine. I just want to know that whatever the lecture I'm delivering here by the sharing the PPT and videos and all that part, really it is useful, or there should be like a chalk and board type of teaching with some camera and all that part. I just want to know it. Because mostly yeah, there is sometimes the issue is of voice and all that, that may be from your side, because already last day I told you that I am sitting in Wi-Fi zone. It's with the speed of 100 mbps, so there will not be issue from my side. So if any issue, if it is occurring from your side, so please do manage from your side. The thing is that because whatever the range issue is there by the different networks are there, so those are not in our hand. So that is the major issue. And one of the thing that I want to say, that suppose if we go by traditional board and chalk method, so there is no any issue. But the thing is that I will not be able to share the videos and different types of animations or diagrammatic things. So that is a basic problem that I want to say to you, because we are more approaching to the modern techniques, so one have to get employed with this part. Because if you are getting admission to the MBBS, so there also such type of teaching is generally carried out, because I usually used to teach to the MBBS and MD students. So whatever this policy is been followed there, same I am trying to teach you in a similar fashion, but rather with the easy mode. So you should have to understand, because every system has some pros and some cons, so based upon that we have to understand. Hope so, but whatever I'm just teaching here, it is understandable to all of you. There is no any issue, I think so. Yes. Okay, we'll proceed to some other parts of the chapter. Now, according to the NCERT part, there is one thing that is mentioned that is called somatic hybridization or somatic hybrids. So, what exactly it means? Let us understand. You know that each and every cell, it is made up of a cell wall, and it is having some internal parts, it's DNA and all that thing. So, in that case, suppose if you take a single cell, okay. So, what exactly this system deals with? We'll talk in detail about that. In the somatic hybridization, it is a process in which the cell wall is been removed by digesting with enzymes like pectinase and cellulase. So what we are trying to do, suppose if there are two different cells, okay, and in one of the cells, suppose if there are some, we'll take example. Suppose in one of the cells, there are some disease resisting ability, and in second cell, suppose there is a high yielding ability, okay, but due to the cell wall, so we are not able to mix the characteristics. But by any means, suppose if you add both the DNA or chromosome with the different good qualities, then what will happen? We can get the disease resistance also. Simultaneously, we can get the high yielding ability. So this both the things can be achieved by the process that is called somatic hybridization. So we'll start with the process. In this, the cell wall has been digested with the enzymes like pectinase and cellulase. Okay, so both the cell walls from the different cells, these are been digested. So both the cell will be called as renewed cells, or they will not have the cell wall around them. So then the isolated protoplast from two different varieties of plants, okay, so this is called isolated protoplast, that is a cell wall has been removed, each having desirable characters can be fused, okay, so two cells can be fused by removing their cell wall to get hybrid protoplast, okay, single isolated protoplast fused together to form the hybrid protoplast, which can further grow into a new plant. So this is the logical interpretation how that the two characteristics are mixed by taking the two protoplast together to form the hybrid protoplast. These hybrids are also called as somatic hybrids, while the process is called as somatic hybridization. Okay, so these hybrids, so whatever the hybrids which are generated by mixing these two protoplast of desirable characters, these are called somatic hybrids, and that process which we have carried out to do so, it is called somatic hybridization. For example, a protoplast of tomato is fused with the potato to form new hybrid plant combining both tomato and potato. So you can see this example. Okay, so single plant, it bearing the tomatoes at the top, and at the bottom it is containing the potato. So what exactly the advantage will be? So within the small place, okay, we are able to cultivate both tomato and potatoes. So that is the biggest advantageous part that can be obtained by this somatic hybridization process. Understood? Okay, so we'll see how this process exactly has been carried out here. The cells are been isolated, so the protoplast has been removed. Okay, so these are the two different cells that we have to fuse. Okay, so we are going to add it in the into the culture media. So the somatic hybrids will be prepared. Okay, so just see these chromosomes which are there. These are the chromosomes. This is the chromosomes of second cell, so they are combined together, okay, and once they are combined together, we develop the plantlets, and these plantlets, okay, these are hybrid leaves, you can see here. This is the actual image which is shown here during the process. And this is the hybrid leaves, that is the process that I already mentioned to you. Okay, so this ends the major part of plant breeding. Now we'll go and learn something about animal husbandry. Some questions are there. Okay, I will just check. What are the tomatoes not having desirable characters for their commercial use? What are potatoes not having desirable characters for its commercial? Okay, so if you see the tomatoes, okay, so whatever the culture was been developed, it is called as a tomato. Okay, why it is called? Because it is a mixture of potato and tomato. So if you talk about the tomatoes, so they are cultured in such a manner that the desirable characters will be developed. Already I told you, in the tissue culture, they go for the random screening, they check it in the lab, and once it has been understood that whatever the culture has been developed is of desired character, then they go for the cultivation into the field. Similarly, in the case of the tomatoes also, if the desirable characters are there, they are brought to the field, and then the further culturing is been carried out. And you might not be knowing there are hundreds of different varieties of different plants, different vegetables, because if you go into the market, you can see the different types of vegetables. For example, if you take the tomatoes or potatoes, each and every type has some differentiation. Okay, so what type of the things you are interested, so based upon that you can go for the culture. Fine. So whatever the question that is asked by Pankaj, that name of the variety and which area it is cultivated, I am just saying you one thing, that we are learning here the process, how the process has been carried out. Okay, so whatever the varieties and areas are been there, so it has been already discussed earlier in the that is in the plant breeding section. Okay, about the disease resistance and all that part. So I don't feel again there is a need to revise the thing. If you feel, then at the end of the chapter we can revise those things again. Okay, animal husbandry. So we'll talk about the new aspect, that is animal husbandry. Agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. It is called animal husbandry. Okay, so that means we are breeding the animals. Okay, we are breeding the animals for the raising good livestock. Okay, so that means whatever the rearing of the animal is been done, it is done so that we can get the quality product from them, and it can be useful not only for the mankind, but it will be useful to the people who are trying to rear it. Okay, suppose if you take the examples of milkmaid or some different examples are there. So in all this case, animal husbandry is one of the excellent practice, so by means of which we can get the desired product. So what exactly the animal husbandry deals with? It deals with something that it with care and breeding of livestock like buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camel, goat, etc. So these are the basic things that generally is been seen in the case of these types of animals. Extended form includes poultry farming and fisheries. Okay, so these are the additional animal husbandry practice which is practiced globally. There is a poultry farming and fishery. Fisheries includes rearing, catching, selling of the different types of the fishes. It may be of different types. Okay, so that can be that we are going to talk in further slides. There is no any issue for that. So management of farms and animal, there is a farm animals. We'll talk about that. Dairy farm management. So these are the different categories that we are going to discuss in our future slides. That is dairy farm management, then poultry farm management, then beekeeping and apiculture, then fisheries. So these are the subtypes that we are going to see in the further slides. But before that, one should understand that why this animal breeding is to be carried out. Why it is carried out? First of all, to improve the growth rate, okay, of the product that we are going to develop, then increase production, then improve the desirable qualities, then improve the resistance to the diseases. Suppose if any animal is been suffering from any kind of disease, then the product which is developed from that, they will be of inferior quality, or rather they have some problems. Already we learned something, the idea about the swine flu or bird flu. Okay, so people consuming those disease animals or the birds, they were also suffering from same kind of things. So that's why suppose if you want to work in this field, so we need to develop the qualities, and along with that, resistance to the diseases, the another parameters that is to be seen in these animals. Then improved resistance to adverse environmental conditions. Okay, so you might be knowing that these animals which gives us the product, they also suffer from different types of the diseases, and they are also affected by the environmental conditions. For example, heavy rain or the cold weather, it can induce the fever into the cows, buffaloes, and they may suffer, they may also it may also results into the different types of the problem. Okay, so these are the things that can be seen in the case of the different types of the animals. Please check the network, okay, if there is any sound or visibility issue. During the conventional practice of animal breeding, okay, just taking care is not enough to give the maximum yield. Already I discussed that by not keeping the animal in the particular area will give the maximum product, but there is some other things are being needed. One of the example quoted here, India and China have 70% of world livestock population. Surprisingly, the productivity serves only 25% of the world farm produce. That means 70% of the animal rearing has been carried out in these two countries, but the product output is only 25%. So that is a major issue that you can see. So professional approach is needed to boost the production. Okay. So what is the professional management that is to be done? It is employing the new techniques. Okay, new techniques are needed to be employed in order to achieve the improvement in the quality and productivity. So that is the basic thing that one have to deal with. Okay, suppose if you are doing this type of things, okay, animal husbandry and all that part, you have to employ on new techniques. Industrial principles of production, processing, and marketing are to be employed. Okay, so industrial principles. Okay, so if you see a particular industry, so what exactly they do? They look for the quality. Okay, they look for the time management. They look for the processing, and finally they look for the marketing. In similar fashion, if any person engaged in animal breeding, so or in animal husbandry, so if they follow these principles, then yeah, they can get the good quality results. So that is the one thing that one has to follow. So we'll proceed again. So we'll talk about the animal breeding. Already we talked about plant breeding and the different principles and procedures. Similarly, we'll talk about the new part that is called animal breeding. The breeding of animal is an important aspect of an animal husbandry. Animal breeding aims at increasing the yields of animals and improving the desirable qualities of the product. Okay, so what exactly is the basic goal? Breeding should be carried out with such a fashion that whatever the product we are going to get, that will be of desirable qualities. Now we'll go in detail about the subtypes. There is a breeds. What is breed? Let us understand. A group of animals related by descent and are similar in most characteristics like general appearance, features, size, configuration are said to be breed. So what exactly we understand the term breed? These are the group of animals which are looking not only similar, but they have general appearance, they have some similar features, size, configurations, and because of that they are called as a breed. So that is one of the example. Animal breeding, already I discussed that these are the group of animals related, decent and similar in most characteristics such as general appearance, feature, size, configuration. Animal breeding aims at increasing the yield of the animal and improving the desirable qualities. Okay, so that is the combined part that you have to write in your bold examination papers. Okay, and when the breeding is carried out between the animals of same breed, it is called as an inbreed. So this is the one important part that I'm going to discuss, and that is, suppose if the breeding is carried out, okay, between the animals of the same breed, okay, animals of the same breed, and already I defined what exactly you understand by the term that is called as a breed. So if the breeding is carried out between the animals of the same breed, then it is called as an inbreeding. While crosses between different breeds are called as outbreed. Understood? That means within the same breed, if it is carried, then it is called inbreed, while it is carried by taking different animals, okay, so that is called as an outbreed. We are going to discuss it in detail, and already I am having one video also, so that will also help you to understand it more thoroughly. We'll go in detail aspect each and every point. Okay, so we can talk about that is called inbreeding. Just a second. Okay, someone has asked the question that what is the importance of animal breeding. Already I told you why the animal breeding is carried out. Suppose if you are living with some local breed, Okay, so what is the advantage of local breed? That yeah, you can get the product as per your desire rate, and all that part is, it is known to you. But suppose if you want to, we'll take example of a cow. Suppose if you want, suppose a typical cow, it is giving some 5 to 6 liters of milk daily. But if you create such a breed that if it is giving 50 to 60 liters liters of milk daily, then you will prefer then that breed. That means we are mixing such a characters by means of which we are targeting the product. That means if you are getting large quantity of product, then we will select that breed. Similarly, you might be knowing that there are different types of dog breeds. Okay, but I never understood, or you also know that you never prefer the street dog, okay, as a pet. You may prefer the different breeds. You always say that I am having some breed from America, I am having some breed from foreign, okay, some familians are there, some bulldogs and all that. That means people generally, okay, people generally they prefer the higher breed animals, not only as an a pet but also for getting the desired qualities. Hope so you understand what is the importance of animal breeding. Okay, now inbreeding, it refers to mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generation. Now you might ask that why sir 4 to 6 generation? Already in the last lecture during the process of tissue culture or different techniques, I told you that whenever you go for 4 to 6 generation, okay, maximum generation you attain, you get the homozygous breed. And if you get the homozygous breed, it means it will have the pure characteristics. Okay, you will have the pure characteristics. So that's why the breeding has been carried out for 4 to 6 generation. Okay, so if you want to write these parts, you can just write out, highlight for a second. Now next part that we see, that is a breeding strategy, is what exactly is the breeding strategy. Strategy is that superior males and superior females of the same breed are identified and mated in pairs. So this is the logical thing that we generally do in the inbreeding. There is superior qualities of male and female are taken and they are identified and mated in pairs. Inbreeding encourages homozygosity. Already I mentioned you why the homozygous characters are very important, because if homozygous characters are if the homozygous characteristics has been not developed, there in coming future there might be chances that you may get some illogical or some irrelated characteristics can be developed in that particular breed. So homozygosity is obtained, and that is obtained by going for 4 to 6 generations of inbreeding. However, continuing inbreeding, especially close inbreed, usually reduce the fertility. So that is a major issue. One of the student asked that, sir, what is the problem of inbreeding? So basic problem is closely related inbreeding. If it is carried out, then it reduces the fertility and even the productivity. So this is called inbreeding depression. This is called as an inbreeding depression. Yeah, it is very good that you can go for 4 to 6 generation, but you can't experiment by taking the same animals again and again and going to check for the productivity. It is not optimal because there is an issue related to fertility, and second one, that is a productivity. So that is called as a depression, inbreeding depression. There is a depression of that gene generally take place. Whenever this becomes a problem, selected animals of the breeding population should be mated with unrelated superior animals of the same breed. And this usually helps restore fertility and yield. Suppose if you are going for 4 to 6 generation, you are getting a good product, but due to some impact, suppose if you lost the quality, then take this generation, what that is the sixth generation, suppose if you are taking, and breed it again with the some healthy inbreed population animal, then again this fertility and yield issue will be restored. But there is one issue again, this is the experimental process. Again, you have to wait for a particular period of time to get the results. So that means it is not like the a plus b is equal to c, so it is not so simple. Okay, so you have to do again some experimentation and then you can get these results. So that is a basic thing. So you can see some examples. So this is how different qualities, okay, you can get height, weight, or different qualities. So these are the things, examples, okay, of inbreeding. Now we'll go for outbreeding. What exactly we understand by the term that is called as an outbreeding? Outbreeding, it is breeding of unrelated animals. Okay, it is a breeding of unrelated animals, which may be between individuals of same breed or between different breeds or different species. Okay, so we are taking unrelated animals, we are breeding it, and we are getting the different, a new type of species. Okay, a different species has been developed. So that is called as an outbreeding. So here you can see some examples. This is liger. Okay, this is a liger. Why it is called liger? Because it's a mixture of tiger and lion. Here is another example. So this is homework for you. Just check this image and tell me what exactly this can be the combination of. Okay, so these things are carried out, okay, as outbreeding process. Similarly, you can see these are the different other examples that mentioned here. Now, how this inbreeding generally takes place, we'll talk about that. You might have some questions. Okay, the cross made between same breed or mating between close related individuals. Already I defined you. So just take one example. That is a dominant allele, recessive allele. So we are going for F1 generation. Then we are going to the F2 generation. Okay, so during this experimentation, what exactly you will see finally at the end of the experimentation. So whatever the homozygous characteristics are there. Okay, so these are called homozygous characteristics. These can be separated, and once it is separated, then we can go for the that means we can select that strain of the animal for the getting the productivity. So that is the thing that I'm trying to explain. Outcrossing, so we'll understand the another term that is called as an outcrossing. This is the practice of mating of animals within the same breed. Okay, this is a practice of mating of animals within the same breed, but having no common ancestors on either side of their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generation. So what exactly we are taking? This is again the same procedure which is repeated. That means we are taking the mating of animal within the same breed. Okay, but whatever the forefathers are there from both the sides, from the male or female, so they will not have any kind of common ancestors at least for 4 to 6 generation. Okay, so this is called as an outcrossing. The offsprings of such a mating is known as outcross. A single outcross often help to overcome inbreeding depression. So already we know that whatever the inbreeding procedure has been carried out, so it is a lengthy procedure. But suppose if you take some measures, suppose if you take the same species with same breed but not common ancestors for 4 to 6 generation, then what will happen? So at one stage, so whatever the problem is coming, that is the inbreeding depression, so that will not be seen in case of this outcrossing technique. Okay, so this is one of the example that means one type of thing that we have seen. Okay, next, that is called as an crossbreeding. So what exactly we are going to see in the crossbreeding? In this method, superior males of one breed, okay, superior males of one breed are mated with superior female of another breed. Okay, what exactly we are doing? Superior male of one breed mated with superior female of another breed. And this crossbreeding allows the desirable qualities of two different breeds that two has to be combined. Obviously that whatever that progeny will be developed, that progeny or offspring, that we can call them as a hybrid offspring. Okay, and this can be used for the commercial production. Okay, already you might have seen different dogs. Okay, already I quoted that example. Different breeds of dogs are available in the market with the different hybridization technique. So that breeds are not only costly, but they have showing some good qualities. Okay, so one of the examples that I can quote you that, so there are some new breeds, okay, of dogs which are available in the market. So what exactly they do? They listen to the masters. Okay, even their daily practices which are there, that is of their regular toilet practices are there, or regular eating practices are there. So all these are superior as compared to whatever you see of that street dogs. So that is another advantageous part that we generally see in this case, that is called as a crossbreeding. So this is another example. There is a Hisardale is a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing Bikaneri Eves and Mario Rams. Okay, you can see this. These two breeds, they are combined together to form Hisardale. Okay, so this is the Hisardale, which is obtained by combination of Bikaneri Eves and Mario Rams. So these are the procedure generally been repeated to get the product or yield. Okay, one was rich in the meat, another was rich in some wool. So by combining, so we are getting both wool and meat together. So this is the best example that we can quote. Next, that is called interspecific hybridization. In this method, male and female animals of two different species are mated. Okay, in this method, male and female animals of two different species are mated. In some cases, the progeny may combine desirable features of both parents and may be considered economical value. That is a mule. Okay, that is a mule. That is a horse and donkey which are been hybridized together. So that is called as a mule. So it has been mentioned that it doesn't mean that we can 100% get the desirable characteristics. But suppose if you are getting the desirable characteristics, then they are having some economical values that one should have to understand. Okay. So this is the mule that I'm talking about. Okay, fine. So this was all about the point that we talked about: inbreeding, outbreeding, crossbreeding. Okay, and there are different product and what exactly are the benefits of this all thing that we are going to do. Okay, that's it. So I think, yeah. So if you are having any doubts, you can share. So I will share the video tomorrow. Okay. So in that we will discuss how this process is been again carried out. Okay, it will help you to understand thoroughly. So there is no issue. Yeah, some of the students saying the mules are infertile, and yeah, one thing that I want to say that in the case of animals, suppose if the breeding has been carried out by the different techniques, so there is some kind of issue, and that issue may be infertility. Yeah, you are getting the animal with the good qualities and all that part, but yeah, there is a problem that is called as an infertility. Difference between breeding and clone. Okay, one of the student asked me the question: there is a difference between breeding and clone. In breeding, what exactly we are taking? We are taking the qualities, okay, from both father and mother. Okay, so whatever the qualities we are taking, that already I mentioned, I given one example. Okay, this is one of the example that how we are getting the qualities, that is meat from one, that is from father, and wool from mother. So that is called as an breeding. And clone means what? We are getting Xerox copy. Okay, so that is a difference between breeding and cloning. Okay, cloning means Xerox copy, breeding means additional of qualities. Okay, so that is the difference. Yes, any other question? What actually is breed, and can breed be called species? Yeah, obviously that is a species. Just remember, any living organism which is showing the basic qualities, that is there is breathing, respiration and all that part, that is all, that is can be called as a species. But yeah, what is a breed? Already I defined what is a breed. These are the group of the animals which are living together, showing similar features, configuration, nature, characteristics, height, weight, all that. Not weight, that is a property. So that all part, it is called as a breed. Okay, demerits of inbreeding. Already I told you that what is the demerit of inbreeding. That in the in inbreeding, suppose if you go for 4 to 6 generation, so at one point what will happen, whatever the gene is there, it get depressed, and it is called inbreeding depression. And due to the inbreeding depression, so there will be the problem. And what will be the problem? The product yield may can decrease. So for that issue, so I told you that what can be done. So yeah, yeah, so outcrossing is the one of the best example to get the that is a merit over the inbreeding. So whatever the demerits are there of inbreeding, so on that, outbreeding is one of the best remedial part. Hope you understood. Someone asked that breeding have no fixed sex as male or female. One thing, whatever the parts I just mentioned here, so in similar fashion, the procedure has been repeated in the lab. So while taking the fixed part, okay, there is a fixed ratio that male should have some characteristics, female should have some characteristics. So based upon that characteristics, these are being chosen. Okay, you can't take inferior male with the superior female, or superior male with inferior female. Both should be superior and both should have desired characteristics, then only you can get the results. So there is a fixed ratio and that should be employed. And already you know that one of the things that you see in the, or whatever the things which happen in our day-to-day life, it has been repeated in or seen in the experimental or in the science. Suppose if you are having suppose a boy is rich, is good looking, then he is going to get a good girl. Okay, similarly, suppose if a girl is good looking, well educated, he will get a good boy. It doesn't mean that you will choose the inferior. Always we prefer the superior. Similarly, in the animal husbandry also, to get a desired product, scientists or people, they only consider the superior type of animals or superior quality of products from them. Okay, fine. Any other questions? Hope so. Whatever the part I'm teaching, it is understood. It is understandable to all of you in smooth manner. There is an, I don't think there is any kind of issue, because you can ask me any question. As a, not as a biology teacher, as a scientist, I prefer to give the answer in depth. Okay, I usually used to like to interact with students, so I can give you in detail. I can go in detail up to genetical level, so there is no any kind of issue. Only the part that you should have to understand it thoroughly. Okay, any fine. Okay, fine. So any other questions? Okay, fine. So I already told you that whatever the chapter will be there of this, okay, so it is optimistic, or it will be useful that it has been taught with some diagrams, rather it with, or some ppts, or rather with some kind of videos. Okay, do you feel that it will be more feasible to teach it with the chalk and board related to this chapter? That, do you feel that is it, it will be good like to teach with that part, at least for this chapter? I'm not talking about the other chapters. Yes, please do reply, because this is very important for me. Because suppose if you demand for chalk and board, then I can go for that also. I don't have issue. Okay, so please students, if you are happy with this type of teaching, so please do reply to sir, that is your academic in charge, or to the principal, that whatever the thing that you are learning here, you are happy with it. Okay, because if you give the green signal, then that will help me to enhance and to bring more videos, to bring more ideas, to bring more any pictorial diagrams, okay, to make it best understood. Okay, so so please do tell your teachers, okay, especially to your principal or to your academic in charge. Okay, hope you are all happy and enjoying the lectures. Okay, fine. Because in the coming days, whenever you're going to get admission to the mbbs, so most of the teacher, they are going to prefer you by teaching online, or by sharing the ppts or videos, because it will not be practically possible to teach the medical science, okay, by at least by that traditional system. And already I told you, I'm a research scientist. I'm working in this field since 8 to 10 years, and I'm as a hobby, okay, as a part of hobby, I am just preferring to teach to students from different standards. Okay, and I usually used to teach to the mbbs third year students and md students. There is a pharmac department, there is a department of medicine in Kolhapur itself. And I don't know, many of you might not be knowing, I'm a research scientist working in the field of cancer technology, tech transfer, nutraceutical and food sector. I have worked in the different other bodies. I am basically, apart from that, I am an IITian also. Okay, basic whatever the training I have taken from the IIT and all that part. So that is the thing that you are able to see that I am having my own website, I am having my own app, I'm running my own YouTube channel, so that all the students can get upgraded with what the technique that I'm having with me. And hope so that your last day whatever the part was there, okay, that I taught you, that sorry I shared you the PPT, the link uh, of my website related to corona, so that was been useful. Okay, so in similar way I just want to say that the things are very feasible, and you can check my even blogs or different related articles from time to time. You can, I already told you my website also, I'm upgrading the website, especially for those students who are doing the study in the biology field. Okay, so they can bring miracles in different examination. I say that you try for different exams, NEET, IIT, JIPMER, AIMS. No any botheration, you can do the best thing. We all teachers here are there to support you in all circumstances. Okay, so there is no any kind of issue. So apart from that, suppose if you have some other problems, you can always share with me, so there is no any problem. Okay, so any other problems, students? Yeah, someone has said that the syllabus of bold or neat has been reduced. One thing, students, I just want to tell you, suppose the government reduces the syllabus. Okay, suppose you might be saying that the government is reducing the syllabus of neat, or they may be reducing the syllabus of bold. But suppose if you learn all this part in detail, so that is going to help you in your future learning coursework, such as MBBS, BMS, BHMS, or biotechnology, whatever the field you are going to choose. Because whatever the base that is been created in your 12th standard, so they are again not been taught in your higher standards. Already there is heavy workload. Okay, one of the example that I want to share, suppose if you go into the MBBS, so first year is very difficult to pass, because there is subject that is anatomy and physiology. So whatever that you are learned in 11th and 12th, so that will be like introduction part in that syllabus. And suppose if you are not well known with your introduction part, then how come you can go in detail about that all bones, okay, or whatever that things is there in the human body. So that is the thing. And yeah, it has been reduced, but what quantity and which chapters are been reduced, it is still unknown. But we teachers, by taking some preferential ideas, we are only teaching that part that probably will help you to understand your final examination. Okay, so that is not a worry from your side, that will be taken care from our side. Okay, yes, so that is the thing. Okay, fine. Okay, so that's it. Tomorrow again at the same time we will meet, and if you are having any doubts, I already told you it's always welcome. You can just post me to my YouTube channel as in a comment, or at as in a comment to my website. I'm there always to help you. Okay, I will give you the tips and techniques related to different tricks by means of which you can not only get good marks, but you can top in the different examination. Okay, because it is based upon my personal experience that I'm giving all the ideas. Because once upon a time I was an a ranker, that is I told my old students, new students not might be knowing about that part, that is I'm UG, PG, PhD gold medalist in my category. I have different degrees and all that part. So you are dealing with a scientist, so that is a good opportunity for you all to get maximum benefit from me. So that's it. Tomorrow we'll meet at same time. Okay, I'm signing out. If any doubt, you can ask me always. Okay.